From limiting the people in store to disinfecting glasses and test equipment. We'll be wearing protective gear, so if you can't see our friendly faces behind our masks, we promise they're still there.
Specsavers, open with you in mind. Book an appointment online or call your nearest store.
This October, watch the big games every weekend with Sky Sports and Sports Extra half price. This week, it's Man City Arsenal live only on Sky Sports. The Apprentice
side has shown real character.
Takes on the Master.
Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, history makers.
Get Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports half price for 6 months. Search Sky Sports Sale. New sports customers only. Standard pricing applies after 6 months or if cancelling one element of the bundle. Minimum term and further terms apply.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. Minimal contact in stadiums shouldn't stop the usual suspects from going down. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
Now then, you're welcome back. So similar story to Dublin. Fredrik Jensen with the only goal of the game between Ireland and Finland. It was a 1-0 win. We will hear from Aaron Connolly, first of all, here speaking to Sky Sports after the game.
I think we deserved to win that game. I'm not even sure what happened for the goal. Obviously we've lost at the back and they've punished us, but no, it's disappointing. It's another game that we haven't scored in, and I don't know, you feel like there's going to be a break sometime for us, and we'll put one in, but it just doesn't look like it's coming at the minute.
We just spoke to Enda Stevens. I don't think he saw it either. Did you literally sort of have your back to goal and you're walking towards the halfway line?
Sorry?
Were you walking towards the halfway line when the goal was scored?
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. So I'll need to see that back, but obviously it's frustrating to concede and not get something out of the game when I thought we definitely did deserve something. But yeah, that's just the way it goes, I guess.
You looked absolutely desperate to try and get a goal today. You had a few sort of half opportunities. How did you assess them?
Selfish at times. Probably should have squared one to Darryl. I've tried to go at a tight angle, and it's them sort of moments that cost us a game. And yeah, I need to start looking at that side of my game and just game awareness really, and it's cost us, I think.
Is that because you've got such keenness and eagerness to get that goal?
Yeah, obviously as a striker you need to be selfish, but at times you need to know when to shoot and when to pass. But yeah, it's just one of them where I thought it was at the time I thought it was the best thing to shoot, but looking back on it, yeah, I definitely should be squaring that.
It's been an extraordinary week, really, for everybody in the camp, but particularly for you. You were holed up in a hotel on Thursday night for the Slovakia game. You went home, you came back, and now you're here tonight. How would you sum it up?
Frustrating. That's all I can say. In the UK, if that's the rules in the UK, well then I play the game 1.9 metres away from someone who ended up with a false positive. I don't want to go into it too much, but to miss a game like that, I might never get the chance to play in a game like that again. So yeah, to miss that game, it's frustrating, and I can't really put into words how frustrating it actually is.
Yeah, Aaron Connolly there. Very honest, you would have to say. Speaking to Sky Sports' Guy Havard just after full time, we're joined by Vinny Perth. Evening, Vinny.
Evening, how you doing, Joe?
Yeah, very well. We might just jump off with the Connolly interview there. Selfish at times. I thought that, I mean, very honest of him. I mean, you might feel that you don't want to put too much pressure or have a go at a young fella, and you'd almost kind of be very fair on him, but it sounds like he's been pretty frank with himself. He was selfish at times. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, but I think strikers have to be to a point. There's no doubt you should have squared the one big chance to, I think it's to Daryl Horgan, and it's a pretty simple finish. But Aaron has, I found over the last little while looking at him, I think underage, a lot of coaches underage international setup wouldn't have said he was the easiest to manage, let's put it that way. But I think he's started to show a lot more maturity over the last while, and to be honest with you, he may have been selfish, but he was selfless in it. The front three press at times tonight was very good, and he led the line on that. And he's been really positive tonight in his performance. He's got to do better on that one chance, and maybe he should hit the target or at least make the keeper work with another chance. But I think he's been a real positive again tonight. He's one of the positives anyway. So it's a difficult one because it's the glass half full, and player you can hear real frustration in his voice, and it's probably that's probably the key word coming out of the camp for the last sort of 3 games. Frustration.
And not the easiest to manage. How, Vinny?
Listen, that's sort of what you hear. You hear on the training ground. He was at times difficult to manage, and look, it was a close enough shot. That's sort of, you always hear about these players, but I believe he's changing. I believe he's been a lot better over the last sort of 12, 18 months. But but you need to be like that. You need, like, you often find that the very, very best players over the years, no matter, even at my own level, I've seen the ones that are the very, very best players. You get a mixture. You get good players who are just great lads, but you get some other players, the best players sometimes have a selfishness about them, and they can be difficult. Like they always say, Roy Keane was difficult on the training ground. So it's part of the course with really outstanding players.
And so that I'm picking you up right, you mean things like that selfish streak or doing his own thing on the pitch as opposed to disciplinary issues around the team or around the squad?
Oh yeah, no, it wouldn't be that. And listen, they can cause bigger problems because you've got players of a lesser ability in the training session sometimes. But no, I've never heard anything sort of off the field. It's always been on the training ground. And but you're seeing, I think, the way he's led the line again tonight, I thought, in terms of his press and his hard work, was it never felt sorry for himself at any stage. So that's been really good, to be fair to him.
Because with the Horgan chance, you could hear Darryl screaming, Aaron, this high-pitched scream when the ball hadn't come back to him on the penalty spot. I had actually thought that there was another player in the box who was closer to goal. I had thought maybe Connolly was trying to square it to him, and then he admitted in the interview afterwards he was trying to score himself, so it's probably doubly bad. As you said, you need a selfishness. The other side of that coin is things happen around him, there's no doubt.
Yeah, he makes things happen. He's got that little bit of, he's got that sort of X factor, I would say, in the forward area. I think he'll only get better when the chance falls that time from, I'm looking at Horgs and everything from a Dundalk perspective and how well I know Darryl, and I'm sort of willing them to pass it to Darryl, and so I sort of got lost in that little moment. But yeah, listen, he's definitely someone that we can say the glass is definitely half full with. I think there's real if he continues to develop and stay in the Brighton side, I think he's somebody that will definitely score goals for us and be a big threat going forward.
I'm conscious, Vinny, it was an early kickoff. Lots of people may not have seen the game. The goal that Ireland conceded was just so sloppy, so avoidable. Yeah,
even the TV coverage missed it, so and they had to go back and show it. So Randolph just, again, they're trying to play out from the back, but there's playing out from the back, and it's just a misplaced pass. And it was an opportunity to get Doherty away, I think it was, and just a misplaced pass, and you're punished at the highest level. And when things aren't going your way, like the chances Ireland had, then that's sometimes just the way it goes. So it's a frustrating sort of night, but it's been frustrating sort of camp with everything that's gone on for them. And I'm sure in many ways they'd be glad to get a break from each other and rebuild again for the next couple of games.
So 5 matches, no wins, 1 goal scored. That's easy ammunition for anybody who wants to paint Stephen Kenny's start a certain way. What's the riposte to that if you're taking a deeper look at the performances and what they're trying to do?
I suppose the first thing, like, we can't hide behind them facts. I mean, it's now, still hasn't won, and there you have to accept that. That's that's part of the job, and that comes with it. But I think there's a couple of ways of looking at things in terms of, you look at Dara O'Shea tonight, and I was texting Richard Dunn during the game saying he reminds me of Richard Dunn. And in many ways, that just, even if you think that one position, if this time last year Duffy was injured or was missing or was suspended, we not in crisis mode, but we would have really struggled. We've now got, Egan, O'Shea, Duffy, we've got Long, we've got real strength and depth throughout the whole squad. We've seen we've seen Connolly starting the game. We've seen real strength and depth in our squad. No matter, we're missing a huge amount of players, and we still look really, really strong. there's no doubt that we need to start scoring goals. But we put a real structure on the team. I think it's work in progress. We do have to win games ultimately, and there is going to be a lot of noise around, and that comes with the big job, and Stephen will have to accept that. But what's been a difficult couple of weeks, I've travelled in one of these COVID bubbles. It's difficult when it breaks down, and I'm sure everything that's gone on, as I said, to be glad to get away from it. But there's real, I'm hearing this word green shoots and things like that, but there is real sort of positives. The top Molumby at times was excellent. I think he can still pass the ball forward a little bit quicker, a little bit more pace, but I think that will come with confidence. I think that midfield balance of him and Hourihane looked really good tonight. If McCarthy's going to be injured the way he has been, so there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of stuff gone really, really gone well. But again, we've got to develop as a team. We've got to start winning matches, and I think this is the problem. We're heading into a World Cup campaign, and it's so difficult to qualify for World Cups. You've got to win your group. So people are going to have to be patient and look at a long-term view of this, whether they like it or not. And that's just the way it's going to have to be.
Where are you and Jeff Hendrick, Vinny?
I discussed this with the lads and yourself around in terms of the number 10 position. I thought you're caught. It's a balancing act. You're caught with a number 10 that needs to, in modern day football, really cover a large amount of distance. But he's got to open the doors, and he did it once or twice, and a couple of other times it broke down. But remember, tonight they played more or less a 4-4-2. There was a lot more space in that 10 position from tonight. So it's not a real true reflection. But when there was that much space from a real top number 10, creates a hell of a lot more chances and makes us a better team. And I still, after watching everything, there's huge positives. There's Molumby's. I thought Horgan was very good. He actually helped Doherty in terms of his style of play. But we're missing that sort of X factor, that sprinkle of real quality. And I would say it's probably missing in the number 10 position. And until we get that right, yeah, we need a couple of chances. But tonight we could have created a hell of a lot more chances. We had a little bit more quality or star quality in that position. Albeit, I don't think the plan would have been to start Hendrick in the 3 games. I think O'Dowd or Robinson may have played in the last game against Wales. But so I thought myself and Hourihane at times were a little bit leggy, but nothing major. So
yeah,
we need to fix that part of the team if we're going to be able to win these type of games.
Will we ever get to a point against certain teams, if not all teams, where we can have 2 in midfield and David McGoldrick, honest fella that he is, in the number 10 role and drop him back to help out, and somebody else leading the line with maybe more of a goal-scoring touch? Is that something you suspect Stephen will try and explore?
Yeah, I'd like to think he will. It's just my opinion. I think in teams against teams that are ranked similar to you, the very top teams would punish you if you went in with McGoldrick in there. But teams like, say, Slovakia, who would have been ranked the exact same as us, it's probably, and being away from home is difficult, but certainly at home, if you're going to have that much possession, you've got to, he is the one that looks like he can do that number 10 role. But again, you see it there at different stages. If Hourihane or Molumby is going to end up in the box, you do need your number 10 sometimes to give you a little bit of cover and balance and make a sprint back 40, 50 yards. So not going to do that. So it depends who you play against. Just isn't the Wells Hourihane type, unfortunately, player there that we need. I mean, there's been talk of, could Jack Bourne do it? It's still a bit early for him. I think he needs an opportunity and a couple of friendlies and see can he do it. But beyond that, I don't see that sort of number 10 being there for us in terms of what's needed in the modern day.
Yeah, it's been a while since we produced one, I guess. Wes aside, he was always the glorious exception. I don't know if there's something about what we're doing at underage level or beyond which explains that, but we don't tend to be blessed with many of them.
No, and I think it's funny you should bring that up. I was thinking about that during the game. Like when you look at underage level and you look at... Last night I watched and I've read the book of, Champagne Football. There's been a huge amount of work.
It ends badly. I don't know if you finished it.
It does, yeah. But I'll tell you what was happening in the middle of that book.
Yeah.
what people have forgotten about a little bit. The amount of players and Irish-based players who have been developed and are coming through at the moment. When you look, and it's not just League of Ireland, I have a League of Ireland cap but in my head, but obviously Enda Stevens came from Rovers. You look at Sean Maguire from Cork, Darrell Horgan from Dundalk, Mark Doherty really at Bowes. But even Jason Knight coming on there, he played his football at Cabinteely, or you look at what's happening, there's lads from Galway in our pitch. We've got this sort of emerging talent programme that's developing young players all the times. There's a hell of a lot of good work going on in Irish football. There's a lot to be really happy with. I think if we put a manager under pressure as a football community at the moment and around the World Cup or the next 6 months, we may have to start again and let someone rebuild it. I think it's time to take a long view at this and say 21-year-olds, as I said, like Malumbi, O'Shea, Connolly, all these players on the way through. Knight has played 6 times for Derby, like, I think, this season. So there's real sort of things to look forward to, and we need to be careful that we don't overreact and become, I think because of social media, we've become a little bit more like, the British press and constantly commentating and looking for stuff. I think there's a huge amount of work going on underage and with young players in Irish football that we could actually put together, like create, for want of a better word, Team Ireland, and build a team, build a community around all of these players where when they get together, there's a real togetherness, especially when you get so many young players coming together. There's a natural draw to each other. I think we've a real opportunity, and I think that can't be missed out. But yeah, sorry, a long-winded way of answering your question. I don't see a natural number 10 yet. Troy Parrott, I believe, could play that, but he's got to do a lot over the next sort of 12, 18 months to get to that position.
Yeah, he needs things to go well at Millwall for starters. Vinny, thanks so much. Great to have you with us. We'll talk to you soon. Much appreciated.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Paddy Power. New normal, same old football. Paddy Power. Gamble responsibly. Gamblingcare.ie.
Well, Kieran, your CV is very impressive, but what inspires you?
I'm inspired by